My life is an eclectic mess, and I love having random things that I immerse myself in. Hi, my name is Brandy. Some of my accomplishments include wife, mom, friend, honey lady, entrepreneur, and farm girl. Follow along with me as I discover other things I am passionate about. The first on my list is achieving my private pilot's license. Why? Because why not? My favorite thing in life is proving to myself that I'm a badass. Plus, my husband is a pilot, and we have already managed to take the air coast to coast. In my vlogs, you'll see the journey to discovering more, parts of my real life, and places we travel to. So hit that subscribe button now, and don't forget to like my videos. Sky Ranch area traffic, Cessna 90568 Victor at 5,300. Just departed the city, going over to the southeast practice area above Big Fork. Sky Ranch traffic. I can pull power a little bit and I can get down a little bit like that. Yeah. So when I decide I'm landing and I decide I am not going to make a safe landing and I want to do a go around.
Yeah.
And I make the call, do I just say on the go? Or
yeah, you can say just on the go. And most important is the go around. The talking comes secondary, okay? So don't do go around, do go around and then talk versus opposite.
Okay.
And remember, if you do a go around and you have flaps out, remember to not put all the flaps in. 10 at a time.
Yeah.
Okay, today is my CheckRide day. I have breakfast of champions, practicing my emergency procedures, just spilled the coffee, and practicing a few last minute things. Wish me luck. The nerves are starting to set in. I made my lunch because it's going to be a full day. My oral starts at 8 and my CheckRide starts at 11. Well, today is bittersweet. My student pilot chapter is either coming to a close this morning or extending. It's my CheckRide day and the nerves are high, but I do have peace if he doesn't pass me. That just means I'm not ready and I just need to practice a little more, but man. Okay, we are here. I just went in for my CheckRide. I thought it would be one solid day. I prepped my breakfast, as you saw. I prepped my lunch. I went in expecting for that lunch break and then flying after. And CheckRide day, I can't film it. It's not allowed. So I'm gonna have to just play through these as I remember them, and trust me, I definitely remember my CheckRide. So this is the wrap up of day one CheckRide. Day one CheckRide, I went in and the oral took a little longer than expected because I don't know if you saw my written results, but my written results, I had 1 point better than just a straight across passing. So I had a lot of questions that we had to go over. And so it was mentally draining. When we were done with the oral part of it, I was asked, do you want to fly today? And so, you know, as me, I'm supposed to be pilot in command, so it was my choice. I knew we were both a little exhausted mentally because of all that back and forth, and I was a little nervous on that one, yes. But I went out and I looked at the weather, and it was not pretty. Like, there was stronger crosswinds, and so, you know, with all those different landings, I wanted to have a great day to take my flight part of the CheckRide. And so I checked glacier weather and it didn't look very well. So I made the call. You know, I wasn't in a hurry to get my license. What's another couple days? But I made the call to postpone the flight. So we checked the schedule and we rescheduled for the flight. So I was able to come in and meet up with the DP again for that. So here's to day 2 of the CheckRide. We're on day 2 of the CheckRide, and I don't know if you remember a while ago I told you I was in 4-H horses, and I hate being in the show arena. I hate being judged. And so flying got me a little nervous because I'm being judged. And granted, yes, I want him only to pass me if I'm a safe pilot. I don't want to be passed if I'm not, right? But those nerves, I'm like, oh. And I had a great breakfast again. So we went up and I failed. I hate to say it. I did not do my slow flight and my steep turns. And you know, before we went up, I was telling them, yeah, you know, I was told my steep turns are commercial standard. Like when you're doing your CheckRide, there is like a room of error, and not error, but like, so you're allowed to do like plus or minus so much, but that's way too much to remember. And so my thought was, I'm doing everything straight on with no plus or minus, because otherwise I won't know if I'm in that plus or minus perfection, right? So yeah, I did not do slow flight, and I didn't do steep turns, and I was so devastated, but everything else, I nailed it. I nailed it. I nailed all my landings. I nailed all my takeoffs, and that one very special short field landing where you cannot land before that point, you have to land after. It was great. That was day 2 of the CheckRide. So at the end, obviously, I didn't pass. So we had to schedule day 3. So in order for me to do a second flight with the DPE, I had to schedule time to go back up in the air with my instructor. And she had to go over the slow flight again and the steep turns in order for me to retest on those. And of course, when we went up there and we did them, I nailed it again. I had that commercial standard, but like, dang it, Charlotta, why can't you just pass me on those 2 things? So we're on to day 3. I'm here, day 3, CheckRide, flight number 2. I talked to my DPE at the beginning, and I'm like, hey, so everything you passed me on the first CheckRide, I'm good, right? Like, if I don't do it perfect on this one, you can't not pass me. And so we joked because I knew I would be fine. I have now been getting to know the DPE 3 days now, and so I feel more comfortable. I don't feel like that awkward person being judged by some other body that I don't know. So we went up, and he was like, what kind of takeoff do you want to do? And I'm like, I'm gonna do a normal takeoff because I already passed everything else. So we take off, get up in the air, and we get straight to it. You know, we get straight to the steep turns and the slow flight, and I freaking nailed it. My steep turns were commercial standard, like I bragged about, and my slow flight, it was so pretty. And he's like, you did it. And we had this big smile, and he's like, let's go back to city. And as we're coming into city, he's like, what kind of landing do you want to do? And I'm like, Perry, I just want to do a normal one. Because, you know, I didn't want to mess up the perfect day. So I came in, and I was on final, and in my head, you know, I'm telling Victor, I'm imagining how we're going to land. And we landed the smoothest possible landing ever. I freaking buttered it. And the minute I got down, slowed down, the plane was in control, right? I mean, I was in control. I turned to look at him, and I had this big, cheesy grin on my face because I just did it. All this hard work and dedication led up to this moment, and I freaking did it. I was so incredibly proud of myself you know, it paid off, and the emotions, and I just like, so yeah, that was the CheckRide in a nutshell. So I want you to come back next week. Next week, I am bringing Charlotta on the screen with me, and we are just gonna talk about the whole season, how, you know, the emotions were, you know, getting in there and going through the process. So come back and sit with us and learn. If you're interested in doing your pilot journey, come learn how we ended up. And my one recommendation for you is to get an instructor that is cheering for you, that wants you to achieve what you want to achieve. So I'll see you next week.